Hello and welcome back to Radiance Realty. I'm Carlene Herring, owner, broker of record, as well as a licensed real estate instructor here at Radiance Realty and Associates. We're here with another video. Today we're going to be talking about the top mistakes that sellers make when they're listing their home for sale. If you have not done so, please go on over, click subscribe, that way you're notified each and every time I upload a new video or content. If you have not done so, go on over to either Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn to make sure you have liked and or followed us on our social media platforms. It will be greatly appreciated. So let's jump right in, guys. So one of the things I like to do here at Radiance Realty, not only do we strive to make your experience radiant, I also love to educate my clients, because I feel like once a person is educated, they know what to expect, they're comfortable in the transaction, and it just provides a sense of just relief, you know? So a lot of my videos are just, educational videos, tips and traits, and just what to expect in all aspects of the real estate transaction, whether you're a buyer, seller, looking to refinance. I try to do videos that kind of, that's going to help you along the way, no matter which position you're in the transaction. So I really do hope you guys find these videos helpful. If you guys have questions, feedback, or you guys want me to do a video about a specific topic, let me know. I'm here, okay? All right, so let's jump right into it. So I have about, I would say 7 listed here. So these are mistakes that sellers should avoid when they're listing their property for sale, okay? Number 1 is underestimating the cost of selling. This is something that happens all the time. Now again, depending on where you are, a lot of this is based on where you are. So before you actually apply it, again, if you're in North Jersey, South Jersey, just connect with your realtor. If you're dealing with a realtor, connect with them just to confirm some of the information as far as costs. So the first one is underestimating the cost of selling. So depending on where you are, there are fees that are associated with selling your property. A lot of people think it's just as simple as calling a brokerage and throwing up a sign and offers are going to come in. Us agents and brokers, we make it look that easy, but there is a lot more that goes on in a transaction. So again, depending on where you are, there may be inspection fees, there may be survey fees, there may be appraisal fees. So again, depending on where you are, you're working with an agent, don't be afraid to ask the question, hey, outside of the commission or whatever the case may be, what other costs are associated with the transaction? And just to make sure that you're really able to do so, So that's number 1, underestimating the cost of selling. Okay. So number 2 will be setting an unrealistic sales price. Now this also happens all the time. You see a property sitting for, 70, 80, 90, sometimes 100 days on the market, because the sales price is either too high, it's just something isn't right, Typically, what I would say do, again, depending on where the property is located, find the right agent, that's able to produce, that's going to get you what you want. Of course, you have a number in your head, but our jobs as agents and brokers is not to necessarily get you the number you want. We're going to get you the best that we can provide, pretty much, because at the end of the day, the sales price is set by what the buyer is willing to pay. Okay, so I would definitely say be realistic in your approach. Price your properties to sell them. We're not pricing to sit on the market and collect dust. Because once it's been about, I would say, over 60 something days, those offers are going to start coming in very, very low, just because they see that it's been on the market for a long time. They now have that leverage over you. This property's been sitting, I'm sure you're probably not getting any offers. So, hey, let me just throw this offer at you, and that's when those ridiculous and unrealistic offers start coming in. So be realistic with your price. Of course we want to get you the most for your money, but we don't want it to sit on the market for a long period of time, because it's a very competitive market. Properties are listed every single day. So if your property is not priced correctly, it will definitely fall by the wayside of the new properties that are priced correctly, that will get offers and ultimately close before yours. So just setting that realistic price helps everybody, okay? So the next one will be only considering the highest offer. Now, I definitely disagree with this 100%. Like, this is definitely something you should not do. I suggest that you entertain and communicate with each and every offer that comes in, whether it's low or high. Reason being is because if you're only focusing on and negotiating with that high offer, something happens that buyer is no longer able to buy. You know, you had 2 low offers, but you didn't want to communicate with them. So now those offers could have easily, we could have easily countered with those 2 offers and had some type of communication, line going with them. So that way they could have easily been 2 cushions or 2 backup offers. So if something was to happen with that high offer, we still got 2 other solid offers here that, can possibly come up to this amount or close to it. Compared to having this high offer, having nobody else in the background, something happened to the high offer, and now we're back, okay, now we're gonna go back to the drawing board. Let's continue the show now and hope to get more offers, So just entertaining each and every offer works in the seller's favor, because you're pretty much creating a safety net for yourself. If one offer falls through, there's more, So definitely entertain each and every offer that comes in. Even if you don't like it, still entertain it, because you never know how much more that buyer can come on up and increase their offer too. Some investors start low for a reason, So just consider each and every one, not just the highest offer. Okay, so the next one will be ignoring making major repairs or costly renovations. It's as simple as this. Think about it like this. You're a seller, you need a heating system, right? But you say, hey, I'm going to go ahead and wait for the new buyer. I'll let the new buyer assume it, right? Wrong. Because think about it like this. A property being sold as is, needing a heating system, right? Think about how that offer is going to come in compared to a property that has an updated heating system, a new heating system. Think about how high that offer is going to come in over that as is no heating system, as is I got to put money into the place. As is new heating system, no money got to come out of pocket. So that the offer is going to pretty much speak for itself. And think about it like this as well. You're putting money out now, but you're going to recoup that money at the closing. Okay, so it's pretty much going to pay for itself. So I would definitely say if you can do it, because there are situations where we have older clients, people that aren't just aren't in a position to cover the expense, and that's understandable too. So depending on your financial situation, if you can't afford to make the costly repair, do so, because again, it's a win-win for you as a seller. But if you cannot do it, what could you do? So if you can do it, don't ignore it. The next one will be not preparing your home for sale. If you have pets, just make sure we have showings set up. Make sure the house is clean. Make sure, we're not smelling the pets before we see the pets. If you have large dogs, have them outside, have them somewhere where, if somebody comes in with allergies, they're not about to have some type of an attack in the house, because it's the smell and just the pet hair. And so it's just, think about that. Think about what this buyer is thinking as they're walking into this property. They could have had in their head, like, this is the home. We get there and it's like, not the same as the pictures. The condition is not where it needs to be. So keep that in mind. If you're going to put the house on the market, have the house ready, especially when it's time to show, because first impressions are definitely everything in the buyer's eyes. Okay. So the next one will be choosing the wrong agent or the wrong way to sell. And that's pretty much self-explanatory. If you're in New York, you have a property here in Ewing Township, right? You're already an hour and a half away. Why would you go and get a work with a brokerage in, Jersey City? So plan your approach. When you're thinking about selling, depending on where the property is, get a brokerage that's local, that's near the property, that way if you need something or something was to happen, they're local. You don't have to worry about them coming from, pretty much the same drive you would have to take down, so it's just having the right company, agent, working on your behalf will definitely take you a long way, and again, ultimately get you to that closing table faster. So choosing the wrong agent as well as the wrong way to sell can ultimately, you know, cause delay, and it's definitely a mistake that sellers make all the time. So definitely choose the right agent and just, you know, have a discussion with them. What's your approach? How do you feel like, you know, depending on the property, because a lot of properties, there's not one of the same property. You know, some properties are more unique than others. So you have to be creative. You know, you have to, your sales approach can't be the same cookie cutter approach for the same properties, because each property is different. So for each unique property, there's a unique buyer. So the sales approach, the market approach has to be good, you know, to get this property in front of the right buyer, you know. So choosing the wrong agent, the wrong way to sell is definitely a mistake that a lot of sellers make. Okay, and then last but not least is limiting showings. So if you're a seller, you listed your property, and then you call and say, hey, the property is listed. I say, hey, I got some buyers, and you say, well, I'm only available on Wednesday between 4 and 4:30. What am I going to be able to do with that? You know, typically buyers come from out of town. They're local, perfect, but typically they're coming from different parts of New Jersey or out of the state. You know, so you give me that small 30-minute window one day a week, it's just unrealistic. You know, what can I do within that 30-minute window of time, you know? So me personally, I try my best to accommodate my clients, you know, accommodations. However, you know, you hired me to sell your house, so I plan on doing that. So, you know, I need you, just like I understand you, I need you to understand that this is a process, and we have to kind of, you know, respect everybody's time and everybody's schedule. So typically I say, okay, you don't have to have the door open for me, you know, 7 days a week. However, you know, give me one day during the week. Give me one day on the weekend, because typically buyers are out shopping on the weekend, right? So give me a weekend time. Give me a weekday time. And I can, you know, let me see what I can do with this. So just having like a flexible schedule, or just open to just hearing your agent and not having that limited restriction on showings, again, ultimately defers the process, delays the process, because now we have interest, but now they can't get in to see the place. So, you know, we wouldn't want them to put an offer in without seeing it, and then, you know, they find something or find out something, and now they don't want the place anymore. So it's just allowing your agents to do their job is ultimately what it is. So don't limit showings, you know. If you definitely have a schedule, work schedule, let your agent know that schedule, so that way they can accommodate it. And again, ultimately get the buyer in, get the property under contract, and sell the property for you, because that's what we're here to do. So guys, I really do hope that these tips help you. And these are, again, tips as to what you should avoid doing when you are listing your home for sale. So again, underestimating the cost of selling, setting an unrealistic sales price, only considering high offers, ignoring major or costly repairs, not preparing your home for sale, choosing the wrong agent, and limiting showings are all mistakes that sellers make when listing their house. And when I say the mistake is ultimately it's going to draw you further and further out from that closing table. Okay, so just keep these in mind. I do hope that you found them helpful, and just make sure you guys stay tuned for our next couple of videos we have coming up. We're going to be talking about refinancing, some more seller tips, and guys, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching. Stay radiant and stay true to you. Bye guys.